I would just leave your humility at home.
Okay, hot take. Let's go. Let's go.
Because that humility can really be masking a deeper insecurity of some things that I was talking about earlier. Allow yourself to take up space. Take a second and think about everything that you've done in your professional career to lead you up to this moment as a leader in your company, as an executive, as a subject matter expert. What has led you there? You have earned that position and that right to speak about all of your experience.
Hey, welcome back to the Stupid Simple Marketing Podcast. My name is Bryan Fittin. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Brad Alexander. What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. And back for round 2 is Miss Heather Applegate. How's it going, Heather?
So good. So happy to be back.
Yeah. So if you didn't already, if this is the first episode you're listening to, thank you and welcome. But if you didn't get a chance to listen to Heather's previous episode, it was fantastic. We talked about team building, building a creative team as maybe a solo marketer, an entrepreneur, or a solo person in that role. And so you need help. We all need help and what that looks like. So go back and listen to that one. But for those who did not get a chance to listen and hear your intro, could you give us the 11 seconds, maybe? I say
what happened to 30?
Just tell us about who you are, what you do.
Just super fast.
Go.
However long you want. You know what? Take as much time as you need.
Thank you.
That's right.
My name is Heather Applegate. I own a company called PivotX Coaching. And so I work with leaders and executives of small to medium-sized businesses. And we talk a lot about interpersonal relationships. We do talk a lot about branding. We talk a lot about process and clarity and just keeping things clean to help leaders get unstuck, remove those blocks so that they can be effective in their roles and within their companies.
Awesome.
I think that was 10 seconds, so that was great. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
he
on
timed
point.
it, obviously.
Yeah.
And stop. Okay,
Every
good.
person we have as a guest, he times their intros. And so I'm joking. No, he doesn't do that. Yeah.
Can we keep a leaderboard?
That's right.
Am I
Yeah.
winning?
Yeah.
I think
Who's
you
winning?
are definitely winning.
Thanks,
You're definitely
guys.
winning. No, thank you again for being here. And today we are diving into the topic of, well, personal branding, but for you, for your company, and or if you're a marketer who's trying to get their leader in front of the camera, out on LinkedIn. And so we're diving into that because you do a great job of branding in general for a lot of companies and obviously helping, well, not just the strategies and tactics, but also like me as a person, how can I develop and how can I get better and how can I lead well? And so I'm really excited to dive into that today.
Yeah. Personal branding is, I don't know, it's just been spoken about. It's like ever since COVID hit and everybody ended up online, it was like this, you got to develop a personal brand, you know, either to get hired or to do as a brand yourself or whatever that is. And for me, as somebody who is in the marketing world, who has followed those trends, who's helped other people try to do some similar things, like I feel like the target keeps moving or it's very fuzzy. And it's like, it's just what it is. You just show up authentically as yourself. And okay, I don't know what that means. And so I feel like it's one of those things we all have an idea of what we think it means. And some of us, it may mean like, oh, that's the guy who's like doing weird dances on TikTok every day and that's his personal brand, or it's not. I don't know. Or
It's not mine.
Yeah. That's
Same.
the only thing I can think of at the moment. But
Silent disco brand.
yeah, silent disco. We like those around here. So, but if it is something that is insanely powerful as a tactic to do, like to leverage a personal brand, to build a personal brand. And so if for the folks that are listening to this, they are a marketer and maybe they are the promoter of their brand because I'm the one in charge of doing my marketing, or maybe I'm the marketer on a team and I've got a leader on the team that I really feel like could really help us out if he or she would be out more and leverage a personal brand. And so from that angle, with companies you've worked with and just ways that you would go about it, even in the coaching that you do, what are some things that's just what we want to talk about is get into that. And so I'm not going to ask you everything because I know we're going to get into it, but just like, let's just start with that. I'm going to say, hey, Heather, let's start talking about that. So.
Well, it's so important because when we're building businesses, we build them a lot on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn relies a lot on content.
Yeah.
And if you don't put anything out, you're not going to get anything back. And the most effective content is video content to keep those eyeballs, keep that algorithm moving. So you need somebody to represent. Even if you have maybe you have graphics that are talking about your business or ideas or concepts, the thing that's going to connect even more is a person speaking person to person. So it's incredibly important to find that person to speak for your brand. And sometimes leaders aren't comfortable being in that position. Maybe, the CEO or the marketing, maybe you need a few, but they're not really comfortable in there. So, what we're talking about today is what are some practical ways to get people comfortable in that seat. And I'll say, to the authenticity, whenever I was 10 years ago, if you had said, what's your personal brand, or you need to create a personal brand, I would have probably thrown up because.
Wow. That's
strong.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry for the visual.
That's right. I would have vomited in my chair. Yeah. Okay.
But, there's just so much that seems fake about creating a brand.
Okay.
You're creating a persona. You're creating something.
That is true.
And so that feels
I'm putting
icky.
myself out as some sort of commodity or thing to be taken or consumed.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah.
So you're thinking a lot about how you're being represented and whatever. There is a level of being cautious and representing your brand well and being cognizant of that. But to the authenticity, everyone out there can sniff out when someone is being fake about what they do or what they believe. And so what's great about UGC is we're all being people, and we're just fine tuning. We're, getting to know those tactics so that we can bring the best things about our authentic selves to the table to support the cause that we believe in so much.
Yeah. You hit UGC. So this is a marketing podcast. User-generated content for those that are not.
Just in case.
Just in case. So that is, I would agree with you in that. And I would even say for myself 10 years ago, I was the opposite. I was trying to find significance. I wanted to not prove something, but find my area of focus and not become something, but definitely help people in a certain way. And I had that desire. Now, 10 years later, I had literally just had the conversations if I don't want to be on stages. I don't want to be the guy that's out there. But if it helps my brand and it helps the company move forward and helps with us serving more clients, I'm all about it. But whatever I got to do, I'll do that. But I think my motivations have changed. And you said that you can sniff somebody out when they're doing it for self-serving motivations. And I openly, I probably have been in that without realizing that. And so when you're coaching somebody maybe through this process of getting comfortable, you said I think, how do you find out what their motivations are? When you're saying, hey, you need to be out there more. People need to hear your voice. How can you direct them in a way that it's not egocentric? Oh yeah, you're right. I do need to be out there. Let's go. Me as somebody who produces video content, I like those people. They're ready to go and ready to get out there. But you want to have the correct motivation. So how do you kind of guide people through that?
Well, I think that it's tricky digging into internal motivations because then that becomes a judgment on why people are doing it. And so I might actually select them based on, do they have a point of view in the space that's not being shared? Yeah. So are they the CEO of this company? Did they create something from the ground up? Do they have a lot of passion and information and expertise that needs to be shared in order to bring people in? Or for others that are, maybe overseeing the marketing team or the HR team, they have a lot of knowledge in the space too. So do they have a point of view on how things are working out in the marketplace? What trends are developing, or are they really proud of the culture and team in their company and they want to share about it and bring people into that experience? That's who I would point to as needs to be your spokesperson, who has a point of view within the company that can have something to say about it. And then we can tweak the how and the, whether it's, toning it up, toning it down, whatever. We need to go from there.
Yeah, no, that's good. We have a client that really does that well. They have their own podcast, but they frequently bring in people from the team, not to just promote the company, but he's also said, I want them to have a platform. Yeah. And he has a vehicle to help give them a platform to help, proclaim the message of their company and what they're doing. And so I think it's good.
Well, let's assume that the people that we are talking about trying to help or trying to get involved are people who are hesitant. Okay. I think the person who is I want to be on camera probably already is or has found a way. And if you have that person in your team, then you're sweet, let's just funnel this energy in the right direction. Yeah. for the problem, the hurdle we're trying to get over is probably like the reluctant participant.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know that just in general that people just don't want to look like a fool. They don't want to fail. And so they're like, yeah, and then now I'm going to be on camera, which you kind of said. They're just kind of like, I don't know, it feels inauthentic. It doesn't feel real. So those are just things, demons they're dealing with, right? So if there's a path for them to kind of take some steps forward, what's the initial thing that will be helpful for them? Is it like, I just got to talk about everything? Am I talking about, I just need to talk about one thing? Like kind of what helps as a baby step going forward, then maybe they can start getting them involved.
Yeah. So many things. The first thing that I would point out is just to get over that mental reluctance is to just do it.
Yep. Okay.
Just try it, because trying it once will tell you like, this wasn't as scary as I thought it was. I didn't die. I can do it again. And then I can learn from the past mistakes or whatever. I sat on the fence of this for so long. I mean, months. I was thinking about creating content and putting myself out there. And I had all of those imposter syndrome things in my head of, maybe nobody really wants to hear what I have to say. Maybe my ideas aren't that great. Maybe my experience, isn't worth all that much. Yeah. What if I say it wrong? What if I say it not strongly enough or too strongly? There are a million reasons you can talk yourself out of doing this.
Yeah.
But if you can just turn it on and give it a shot, then it'll be easier the next time. And then before you know it, it's habit.
Yeah.
It's also, you can delete it and do another one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll just delete that and do a retake, right?
Yes.
As opposed to, oh crap, that was live.
Yeah.
Can't take it back.
Yeah, don't go live on your first run.
Right. Yeah, you have that permission to kind of just get it out.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I'll do 3 or 4 of these. And I like that one enough. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And to that point, what I like to do is run really low equipment. I like to shoot it on my iPhone. I don't even have a lapel mic, but I probably should. But something cheap just to make the sound quality better. Get good lighting. But, it doesn't have to be a studio setting. It doesn't have to be super high pressure, and it certainly doesn't have to be scripted. And so when you're talking about doing multiple takes, I have found that the best way for me to do it is to have some bullet points and not script the whole thing out. I tried one time writing my whole script and I read it, and you can see my eyes. They're dancing over to the side. I'm like, and it just
thought off the top of your head. And you're like, no, it is actually scripted out.
It is actually scripted. And so it seemed completely inauthentic. It seemed very robotic. It just wasn't effective, even though I tried to add emotional emphasis or whatever. Like that was real and true.
Sure.
But there's just a better way. So for me, what works is to get my bullet points in mind, hit them, and really do it 2 to 8 times. Sometimes it's a series, or sometimes I'll do the front half of it and then I'll stop and I'll do the back half of it. Or, anyway, it takes, and then you can patch them together and make what's going to be effective. But
yeah. So let's say that you are a marketer that has a team that you're like, hey, we got to get their voice out there, like Brad, you mentioned earlier. But the leader is like, well, I just, I'm here to serve you guys. I don't want to be the face of the brand. I don't know that anybody I don't have enough to share, out there. So how would you guide that conversation for somebody's like, no, we need you out there. You have thousands of followers, and it makes it, when you post something, people interact. But how would you guide that conversation as well?
Yeah. I would just leave your humility at home.
Okay. Hot take. Let's go.
Because that humility can really be masking a deeper insecurity of some things that I was talking about earlier. And so just allow yourself to take up space. Take a second and think about everything that you've done in your professional career to lead you up to this moment as a leader in your company, as an executive, as a subject matter expert. What has led you there? You have earned that position and that right to speak about all of your experience. So take up space. Allow yourself, hype yourself up, write down affirmations, whatever it takes, just to remember that you have developed expertise in that area, and then go into it with confidence. And you know what? If you don't feel confidence, just put it on for a second. Try it on, see how it goes. Have a little more pep, a little more energy. Try that on, and then And then again, like it will become a habit and you'll feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
I love that. They call it false enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. I'm excited. I'm not
Your
really,
hype
but I'm
music.
acting like I am, and it kind of makes me act like I am.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tease people that way. But let's get false enthusiasm. Let's go. Okay. All right.
man.
Yeah, because that translates. Yeah. But yeah, and to talk yourself into it really is what you're saying. Yeah, I love that. Just leave the humility at home. I think it is a lot of people. I mean, because anybody who's doing this, we're doing this podcast and this video, and we're going to be sharing stuff out there. There is an element of like getting comfortable, getting over yourself. Like, I might look like a fool for a second. I don't know, but I hope that some things I do share are helpful and that we want to do. And I think, like you're saying, if somebody has grown a business to the point that they have multiple employees that are doing this stuff on their behalf, and now they're trying to pull you in. Man, that person has sacrificed, has looked like a fool, has scraped, has done hard things to get to that point. This is just another version of that that will help in a different way.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
your listeners are counting on you to come in with an authority in that area.
Yeah.
And so not apologizing for what you say, not making yourself seem small, anytime you make yourself smaller, you also diminish the point you're trying to make. So work on coming in bigger.
Yeah.
And it's just part of the job. And it's a different part of the job. And it's an uncomfortable, unfamiliar part of the role. But it is, in this day and age, it's necessary.
Yeah. Well, and tying the 2 points together, you talked about being comfortable maybe in front of the camera, not being so feeling like it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
But then also, too, being out there, you have to really focus on who you're serving. And like we're in the podcast space, but a lot of people are like, well, I don't need another podcast. Who needs another marketing podcast, by the way?
Everybody. Solo marketers who don't have one to listen to.
But exactly, that's my point is we had, like, you're here today sharing some awesome wisdom that I have not heard anywhere else. I'm sure I could go digging and find something, but the person on the other side of the camera, like, we're thinking about them, and we want to show up and be able to help them and serve them in this way. And so if you can, as a leader, or if you're trying to inspire your leader to do that, say, hey, this is not about you. This is about them on the other side of the camera, and show up for them to be able to help them, serve them. And I think if you can keep that in mind, one, it helps ease attention of like, oh, there is one person on the other side of the camera. There's not thousands and thousands of people, because that is overwhelming. And that can make you feel it has to be perfect. But being able to say that is a one person, I want to help them, I want to serve them, kind of ties both together, where it's like comfortability, I can do that, and also I do need to show up.
Yeah, and leaders are having to do this anyway in different ways, and they're having to communicate a vision of their company. They're having to sell what they do in different ways and convey the point, so it's not like that part is new. The galvanization is not new. And so it's just a different way of doing that. And as for, the thousands versus the one, more to practice. I found that Marco Polo is a tool that really helps me. I don't know if you've used Marco Polo, but it is like, it's a video voicemail.
That's exactly what I was
It's
thinking.
like a walkie-talkie situation, but you video it.
But with video,
Right.
yeah. So if I want to call you and leave you a message, tell you about my day, then I get you on there. You're welcome, Marco Polo. And I would say, hey, Brad, like, blah, blah, blah. This is what happened. Can you believe this? And just be my full and authentic self. That's how I would talk to my friend.
Right.
And so whenever that has helped me to get used to speaking to no one and really speaking back to myself in a way that's just normal. It just kind of helps to get rid of those jitters.
Yep.
So that's a good way to practice.
Well, so a big thing in my lane with people is we don't know what to do in marketing because we don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Right? Everything comes down to, what am I going to talk about? Right?
Yeah.
And this is just another one of those things.
Yep.
Well, now, okay, well, great. What do I talk about? Do I talk
Right.
about my dog? Do I talk about recipes I like? Do I talk about my vacations? Do I talk about my desk? Do I talk about what pencil I like to use? I mean, like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do if I'm building a personal brand and my marketing person's asking me to come do this? So what am I even going to talk about that makes any sense? Like, where do we go with that?
Well, one thing is being really clear on what your company is, who your company is, what do you do very specifically, and who do you serve? And so the more specific you can be in terms of helping people to know whether they fit or not, the better. So I deliver coaching to leaders and executives in small to medium-sized businesses. Wow, I did that well, didn't I? And I work with people who are highly driven, high achievers, ready to do the work, ready to see the opportunity to grow. And so the more I can convey specifically that this is my target, I work with male leaders and female leaders. You know, I'm not just doing everything out here. I'm working with a very specific group of people. I need to refine that. But the better I can be at refining that message, then I can go and repeat it. And it takes repetition on that note. You have to repeat who you are, what you do, who you serve, how it goes, how to reach you. But then from there, you can develop some pillars. You can understand your company culture, speak through that voice. You're not only representing yourself, but you're representing the collective of your company. And so the more you can kind of fine tune that to represent them well, the better. But then know your role with the company. Know what kind of point of view is intended for you in these things. Yeah. So if I am a CEO of an HR services company, my role is going to be different from that of a broker here in Bentonville. It's going to be different than a marketing executive. And so when I'm coming in, I'm wanting to talk about HR trends. I'm wanting to talk about successes in the space. I'm wanting to highlight where things can fail and what happens if you don't follow this process. Yep. I'm wanting to highlight like key wins in our team and growth and healthy culture. And so whenever you start, you're trying to identify, okay, what space am I in? What role am I in? What point of view do I want to try to have? And then you can either create your own ideas or you can look out there in the world and hop on and observe other trends and have a point of view on that, have some commentary on that. So that's what I would do for starters. And something that we talked about a few months ago is having pillars. And that's I think we developed 4 pillars, and that has been really helpful too in being able to, week 1 is pillar 1. Whatever that focus is. Week 2 is pillar 2, whatever that focus is. And so that can help you to have like a steady, repeatable schedule. And then when you're seeing examples or trends or videos, you plug them into what pillar it's relevant to. Yeah. And that'll help you build out your content calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so helpful to have just boundaries of, okay, here's the box I'm going to play in a good way. Not like you're in a box, but just like this. Okay, great. I don't have to talk about everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about these things, and then I can just think about those and focus on those.
Yeah. And
so then when it comes to that frozen, like, well, what are we supposed to talk about this week? Oh, this stuff. Okay, I just need to think about this stuff. I can talk about that. I have something to say about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's helpful.
And as much as you can, plan some in advance. Don't leave it to the last minute every week and like, what am I going to talk about this week? That's hard, and it's anxiety producing.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, no, I mean, pillars. You speak my language, Heather. This is my love language.
Yeah,
Heather. This is good stuff. I think you've brought being able to bring some grace to the situation too of showing up every single week, planning it out accordingly. And again, the feedback we get is people are like, oh, I talked about that last week. Like we talk about video podcasting all the time. Talk about thought leadership. By the way, we have not mentioned thought leadership in this whole conversation. I was like, am I going to be the one to say the word thought leadership here, or the phrase?
No, we're talking about personal branding. That has nothing to do with thought leadership. I'm joking.
But just being able to be in that space of planning it well and setting yourself up for success and not, again, you feel like you're saying the same things over and over and over. But most of the time, people are not seeing that.
Yeah.
It may be the 3rd or 4th time you're talking about video podcasting for us. We're talking about culture. And they're like, oh, this is very interesting content, like the people that come out of the woodwork and they're like, this is great. And I'm like, I've been saying the same thing for a year. And it's like, but I think that going back to serving your audience and serving that person on the other side is the idea and should be the focus and goal of your content as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess what are some advantages, benefits, some potential returns on this time that if I'm a reluctant participant to do this, then like, okay, what's the payoff potentially? You get what I'm saying? I mean, I know there's a lot of ways, but besides just like, we just need you to, right? That's hard to convince. I'm the CEO and you want me to come in and talk about stuff. I'm too busy making decisions to talk on a camera, but get what I'm saying? Like, what are some kind of forecast some of those potential things that like, oh, okay, this is some things I can tell my boss that I'm trying to get on camera that I think is why it's going to help us besides just get more eyeballs on it, which it will.
Yeah. I mean, for one, it's bringing the human element to your company.
Okay.
making it come alive in this space, and attaching a face to it really is the connecting element there. Being able to speak to your team and your culture. I mean, as you think about recruiting and adding to your team, it's helpful for people to know who they're going to be joining,
a good point.
Who they might be.
So they go look at the page and there's the boss talking like, okay, that's the guy that runs it, or the girl that runs the company, or okay.
The marketing person, the HR person, whoever it's going to be, getting a flavor and a feel for this is the company and the environment and the persona that I could possibly join. I think that human element is all out there. And then the expertise. There are an abundance of conferences that you can speak at, and that's cool too, to show your expertise. But this is a good, low budget, quick and easy, repeatable way to have higher frequency of putting your expertise into the world.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait for the conference that's coming 3 months from now. You can go ahead and put this out now, and you can make it consistent in a way that people know it's coming, know to follow you, recognize you, and that repetition is just going to help them to connect more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually those conferences are wanting that. They want to see you. Like, especially if you're applying to
you already
speak
have
somewhere.
a presence online. Give us a taste of what this is like. Oh,
Absolutely.
there he is, or there she is already sharing stuff. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Heather, what's kind of your, we did this last round. What's your best advice? You're like, what I've already shared.
I know. Wait a minute.
You kind of shared like, hey, just step out, just start doing it. But is there anything from just even the mental side of things? Like what would you say going into this? Like what's maybe not the mental side of it. You've shared that too, man.
What's the smallest next step somebody
tactical.
can take?
There you go.
Like,
next step.
Just this, like, I'm trying to get my boss to get on camera.
Yeah.
What's the smallest next step I should take to try to get that in action?
Download Marco Polo.
This is not
start talking to the boss.
Talking to the boss.
In Marco Polo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would do that.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
That sounds like fun,
That's
right?
Great.
Yeah.
That does sound like fun.
Hey, we're gonna practice this. We're just gonna start having conversations via Marco Polo. They get warmed up to filming themselves, talking to themselves, watching themselves talk, which Marco Polo basically does. Okay, that's a great idea.
And start pulling tips from that. And then I would say that's the first real step to do. Okay. Then get your low budget equipment, whatever. Just try it. One time I filmed in a room that was like, it's like the what's the lighting called? That's just like typical office lighting. Fluorescent. Thank you. It was fluorescent lighting. It was 2 of us on chairs. It was echoey. Don't do that. So get in a space where you're not going to have echo. Set up something with natural light with not a lot of bounce. Maybe do the lapel mic. Maybe record it in your car.
Yeah. There you go.
Do things that are easy. So that would be the first step of actually producing one. And then I would say to wrap it up is solicit feedback. Like find someone you trust who's going to be really, really brutally honest with you, but like maybe gentle. And so maybe not brutally, but someone who can say like, gosh, I thought that was really good. I thought your warmth on camera was really good and your points were strong, but like you said, a lot. Maybe there's a way that you can edit out those pauses, or maybe there's a way that you can connect with eye contact more, or, just solicit feedback and see, keep developing and tweaking. Realize it's not going to be perfect on the first go, or like maybe even the 10th go, but you just refine and learn and practice and progress.
Okay. Yeah. That's great steps. I love it.
That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Heather, for being here, for sharing your wisdom with our audience. And so where can people go to find out more information about you, maybe potentially work with you?
Yeah. Well, I work with people locally here in Northwest Arkansas. I also do virtual consultations. And so they can find me at thepivotx.com. They can find me at the.pivotx on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, PivotX Coaching, and also Heather Applegate on LinkedIn. So any of those will work. Reach out to me and I would love it.
You can see the car videos there as well.
Car videos, yes.
So many car videos. So you can see it in action.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is what it could look like. This could be your life.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And if you found this valuable, please make sure to share it with a friend. And if you could, leave us a review. We would really appreciate that, to know that we are bringing you awesome content and awesome guests like Heather today. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks.